It's 2-1 Oscar nomination-wise. You discussed being nominated for...
No, we should discuss it.
We will have that conversation next, yeah.
We've had the Richard Gere conversation with Jeffrey. We've got to have it with you now. Richard Gere arrives on set. What happens next?
Sexy man.
And he makes that known.
So you heard about Barbieheimer?
Yeah.
This is Gladington. It's Gladiator against Paddington. Yeah, that's in the UK. Stay with us, Jeffrey. Stay with us.
with you.
It's appreciating the audience as an intelligent audience.
Yeah.
That'll have to sort of lean into it and do a bit of work with it. You know,
it's like a cryptic crossword.
It is, but
Wordle.
and you know, it's one of those things where you can sit back and relax because all those threads will come together.
That's got to be his showbiz run. It can't be his real.
You know
run.
what? I was always good at running. 100 meters, 200 meters.
Well, it's very impressive.
Take anybody out in the office here.
Michael Fassbender, Jeffrey Wright.
Virgin Radio.
Hey everyone, we're a Fassbender short, but we're going to crack on anyway because we don't care. I've always liked Jeffrey Wright more myself anyhow. Vassas, over to you.
He's an award-winning, Oscar-nominated acting superstar, and he's waiting for an award-winning, Oscar-nominated acting superstar to join him because together they star in the new spy thriller, The Agency, available on Paramount Plus later this month. So please welcome the wonderful Jeffrey Wright.
Good morning, Jeffers.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
Every guest who's well behaved gets a cookie.
I just had a nibble. That's a fantastic
They
cookie.
are good, aren't they?
Breakfast of champions right there.
Completely plant-based. What have you done with Fassbender?
I don't know. You said you saw him running past the Thames at some point. I think maybe he's doing that right now. He's on his way.
Jeffrey, congratulations. What a show. I watched the first 2 episodes last night. I don't think they're quite finished. Well, it said I got this sort of encoded link, you know, to watch them from Paramount Plus. You got to put like your date of birth in and your passport and all this stuff.
All of that. Biometrics.
Yeah, and he said it's not quite finished yet. But I didn't realise how not finished it was until you just told me something now.
Yeah, we wrapped yesterday afternoon.
What?
Yeah, 3:30 in the afternoon. We finished the season, and we went pretty much straight into our first public screening last night, which was really wonderful. People are digging the show. We love the show. We've been working on it since June. And first time I've ever finished a show or a movie and then, you know, went out and showed it a couple hours later.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I've never interviewed anybody ever about a series that they only finished the night before. I've been doing this forever, man.
Yeah. It's a new thing, you know.
All right, so... while we're waiting for Fassbender, let's make the most of Mr. Right here before we meet Mr. Wrong or Mr. Late. Let's just call him Late Bender from now on. Just before we go any further, Richard Gere?
Yeah.
I mean, hello?
Well, he's an icon.
Yeah.
And, you know, the first day he showed up, Michael and I had filmed for a couple of weeks, and then Richard showed up, and he did his first scene, and I think both of us were just looking at him thinking... That's Richard Gere. I mean, he's done, you know, Officer and a Gentleman and Pretty Woman. And I mean, he's a lovely guy and he's a real pro. And he was just stoked to be there. We all got on so well together.
Yeah.
And, you know, just a great group of actors with Michael and Jodie Turner-Smith and a whole range. John Magaro, who was in... Past Lives, wonderful actor.
And Paddington's dad's going to pop up. Hugh Bonneville's going to pop up.
That's right. Wonderful group of actors and some great scripts. You know?
I suppose we might as well. We should frame what's going on here.
Yeah.
It happens around where we are. There's loads of my run in the morning that's in your movie. You got my run in your movie.
Well, we're trying to accommodate you, Chris. Yeah, you're trying to keep me pleased.
So America landing fully formed from a Secret Service point of view in the UK. Just what's going on, please?
That's right. Well, it's based on a French series called Le Bureau, which was about French intelligence. Ours is obviously American intelligence, but based in London. So we're the London station projecting out toward Europe and all things that are happening now. What's wonderful about the show is that it's really a show about relationships. It's about the humanness, the humanity of these characters. But of course, it's set against the backdrop of kind of contemporary geopolitics and things. So it's, we're trying to use that really as a stage to explore relationships, but at the same time, very contemporary, very timely. And I think, a lot of things are going on in the world that are fairly dramatic.
Hang on a minute. Here he
Like
is.
this entrance
Here he is.
from Michael Fassbender.
Okay. Oh, aka Mr. Late. It's Late Bender here. Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you.
Hello, dude.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
yeah.
You're quite hoarse as well.
Yeah, well.
Hello, Fassbender.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, good. So he plays your boss. This man here, Mr. Wright, plays your boss in the show, the new show. We're straight into it, if you don't mind.
Yes, please.
The agency. We're just talking about Richard Gere, because Richard Gere, we haven't said what you all do. He's your boss, isn't he?
Richard is the station chief.
Yeah.
I'm deputy station chief.
Yeah.
There's always a boss.
There's always someone above or below, and
Yes.
then this one comes back in from the field.
Whippersnapper here.
He's our agent.
Yeah, so
A1.
Michael plays Martian, who he was out of the picture for a while, 6 years undercover, comes back into London, and then is tailed by his own agency, because that's apparently how it works. This is the Americans in London. You play an American as well, don't you, Michael?
I do.
Okay, congratulations, nice accent, well done.
Oh, thank
Amazing.
you. Thank you.
And as I say, so Jeffrey plays Michael's boss, Henry, and then Richard Gere plays both their bosses. So Michael's character asks Jeffrey's character for money, and then you have to ask Richard Gere's character for money.
And
but
then
actually,
he's
the
gotta
real
ask Dominic West.
yeah, but yeah, exactly. Is he the president then?
He's not the president. He's like the head of the CIA. Then,
CIA
right?
chief.
Because the flag's behind him. I thought he's the president. So Dominic West is in it. I haven't mentioned him yet, so well done for that. But in real life, you're the boss because you're the executive producer.
Correct.
So how does that work out?
Well, it's all spy stuff. So you're pretending to be somebody you're not all the time. Yeah, it's all pretty murky. They're following me. I'm following them.
I
think he's my boss,
Yeah.
but I don't really think he's my boss.
It's and George Clooney's somehow involved.
He's then another boss.
Yeah, because he's an exec producer.
He's a
Right.
producer, yeah.
Okay.
Basically, so I think it was David Glasser from 101 got together with George Clooney and Grant Hesloff and their company Smokehouse, and they were like, look, there's this French series, it's amazing, called Le Bureau, and we want to remake it. And so they got together and they were like, let's do that together. And then they found Paramount as a home, and it just sort of took off from there. I saw the original series, I think back, maybe under lockdown or something like that. And just funnily enough, I was thinking to myself, well, it was like, be interesting to play that character. Thought it was an interesting character because it was in such an interesting world, this idea of the sacrifice that these people sort of make, and why, why would you
what is
do
it
that
about?
job?
What is it about? Because you have a junior, your character has a junior as well, and the beginning of that journey, a female junior. And that's what you're speaking to, because she's got to make a life choice, hasn't she? Once you've made the life choice, it's almost like joining the church, isn't it? Okay, this is who I am now, and it's forever, because once you're in, you're in.
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
imagine.
That's the thing that I was thinking. I was like, why would somebody do it? And I think a lot of people that enter into this world are sort of, go in with an idealism, about what it is.
Yeah.
And then I think you just get so deep into it that there's a sort of addiction to it as well, the adrenaline, being at the sort of sharp end of things, really knowing what's going on, geopolitically and everything else. And then it's also like, well, you're in it. There's no turning back.
Yeah.
Kind of like acting, but
not at all.
But with the geopolitics.
To be honest, I was going to say that.
But with danger.
Because
It's so sick.
once you're in, you're in. I mean, that's the point, isn't it? We had yesterday. We had a lady in here yesterday called Evie, and her name is Evie Pomperes, and she was a real life Secret Service agent, and she was close protection for 3 sitting presidents: Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama. Real deal. In here yesterday. Such an impressive human being.
Oh, yeah.
Off the chain. Just give me a heads back on X talking about it. She's 48 years old, and we had this. It was a compelling conversation, wasn't it? And at the end of it, I just said, "So James Bond," and she just burst out laughing. Right. I said, what have they got right in James Bond? She said, nothing.
Yeah.
She said, it's great fun, but nothing. And I sort of wish she'd seen your show, and I could have asked her about that, because I'm thinking, maybe this is more realistic. How realistic is it? What do you know about what really goes on compared to what you've portrayed in this show?
Well, I think our show is grounded. As I was saying, it's grounded in the real world, the world as it is now. James Bond is wonderful stuff. It's grounded in a different way, but it's much more fantastical.
Yeah, of course it is.
We're dealing with with the landscape that's.
You've been in both.
What's that? Yeah, I'm here now. We're dealing with the landscape that is. We're projecting out toward Ukraine and toward Russia and dealing with all of these things that are bubbling up now. But again, the show is not really overtly political. It's just using a political landscape to explore the relationships, the interior relationships that these characters have with their work and that they have with one another. So it makes for kind of heightened drama in that way.
I think the people that are in the game, let's say the ones that I've spoke to.
This is the juice.
They watched the Bureau. The French version.
Yes.
And they loved it. Because it is like closely linked to the world that they live.
So when your character,
my character probably wears a suit that is a little too expensive.
yeah, of course, and if the apartment's a bit more plush than maybe it would be, or that. Oh, who knows? Who knows?
Well, you never know with the apartment stuff, because there's got to be a place for him to go back to, and that will be, the agency owns that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before we wait a minute, we got to just backtrack. James Bond was watched by those guys as well. They love that stuff. I can tell you a story. I was in the White House once. I won't say why, and I walked past this door. The guy looks at me. He goes, "Hey, Felix Leiter." I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "You want to see the Situation Room?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I got an invitation into the Situation Room in the White House simply because I was in the James Bond movies. I got into the inner sanctum, that famous picture of Obama and Hillary Clinton, and everyone watching the Bin Laden raid.
Yeah.
They took me in there. Yeah, here's simply because I'm Felix Leiter. Yeah,
that's
so
pretty cool.
We're not here to disparage James Bond.
No, not at all.
Yeah, he's got a horse in both races.
Nor was I suggesting that we were. All I was saying is, as a real secret agent, she may well have something to say about your show, which would be different to what she had to say about.
We don't have as many gadgets,
No, but I'll tell you the thing is, because your character asked Henry, your character, for a plane, because you need a private plane. You think private jet, does that really happen? She did that. She did do the private plane things. That she got the private jet. She pretended to be someone. She lured a Russian criminal onto a plane in the Dominican Republic. Wow. They landed at Miami to refuel, and there was an entrapment on Brooklyn Bridge following all this stuff. So it does happen.
Oh, absolutely.
It does happen, yeah. And what's interesting as well is, usually spies, I didn't realize this either, apparently Vienna is the capital of the spy city in Europe.
Wow.
Because it's not illegal to spy in Vienna,
really?
Unless you're spying against the Austrian government.
Okay.
But everything else is a go. And generally you'll have spies in the embassy. They'll be part of the sort of embassy. But the character, like the Martian, that's a knock. They're non-official.
Right.
That means it's harder to sort of, they would be under less suspicion. But if they do get caught, it's kind of game over.
We've had the Richard Gere conversation with Jeffrey. We've got to have it with you now. Richard Gere arrives on set. What happens next?
Sexy man.
And he makes that known.
100%.
He's great.
But he's different, isn't he? Because even on the show, he's different. What do I know? I'm a viewer. I'm not an actor or a writer. But you watch him, you think, oh God, he's different. He brings something else to it. What is it that he brings?
He's just he's a movie star.
Yeah.
And it's something, it's a swagger. It's a sort of, it's an energy.
Henry, you two have made movies. You're movie stars. You've both been Oscar nominated. What does that mean?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I would ever seen myself like that. I think I'm an actor, and I don't know. It's you just said it. He's just got something. I mean, for me, I was sitting in a scene with him, and I'm sort of sitting opposite, and I'm like, wow, I'm in a scene with Richard Gere. he's doing Richard Gere.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And
he does it brilliantly.
And
is he a bit like Michael Caine in as much as sort of he brings the Michael Caine to every role, but it's okay because it's still acting?
I think that's what people want to see.
Right.
That's actually interesting as well. People want to see Sean Connery for what Sean Connery was bringing, and that's sort of, people are buying into that.
But what I loved about working with him was that he's so committed to the game and to the craft.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, he was fully in there. He wasn't playing any. You know, it's not he. You know, he's decidedly is a movie star, but he was not. You know, there. You know, for all the nonsense, you know, that comes with it. He was there to tell this story and to tell it with us and to grind it out. And
he owns
we had a great
the part.
time.
He
Great time
totally
together.
owns the part. That's what. That's what.
Perfect part
What I
for
loved
him.
about it, he clearly relished being given the chance to play that role.
Yes,
For sure. And again, you know, that's a good opportunity to, you know, to sort of just congratulate the Butterworths, you know, Jez and John Henry. You know, they did a great job with the script.
Yeah, I wonder how that happens. How'd you get... Because clearly he would have loved to be in something like that because he's in it and he's loving it. But I wonder how you make the call and why it hadn't happened before. And has he been what's he been watching on Netflix thinking, I need to get back into this. You know, he's got some kind of hunger that he didn't know.
I think he wanted to work with Jeffrey Wright and Michael Fassbender. I think that's what
Simple
it
as
is.
that.
Simple.
That's it. Get the dream team. Everything else follows.
You know, I don't know. We're just lucky to have him. He's a very interesting man. You know, I think, you know, he does like a lot of meditation for many, many years, you know, and it's sort of, he's just got a sort
Clearly
of...
works, doesn't it?
Absolutely, definitely does,
100%. And so you're still fighting fit. You know, you're 47. You're no spring chicken anymore. But can you give us your regime, please, if you don't mind? Can you help us out? People listening now, what do they do? We had the Gladiator in here on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
And he said it's just 45 minutes a day, 7 days a week. It's not all that. It's, you know.
Nah, we were just talking about it last night. I mean, I put together, you know, a pretty sort of strict sort of regimen when we were doing this because I was just sort of, I came off another film right before it, so it was 7 months straight. So I'll get up, I usually do about an hour and 20 in the gym.
What does that mean?
Well, I usually start off 15 minutes on the running machine, do about 2 to 3K, and then I'll either get onto a weights routine for about 45 minutes, then I'll do the heavy bag for 10 minutes.
And are you spotting him all the time, Jeff? Yeah.
He's
You know,
always spotting me
I'm
through the window.
I'm on the bike in the morning. I bike to work.
He bikes.
Yeah.
And then,
But then
but you skip the initial,
Well, the ice bath.
the ice bath.
Yeah, you got to do the ice bath.
Do the ice bath either before or after.
What
depending
temperature?
on how it
What are you at? Because there's ice
Three-
baths and the ice baths. There's cold plunges and there's ice baths.
Okay, so it's 3 degrees, 3 minutes.
It's okay.
That's good enough for me.
0.5, mate.
that's
is what
all you need.
There's no ice.
don't-
There's
like,
no
yeah,
ice
there's
in three.
always-
There's no ice in 3 degrees. There's no.
Okay, cold
You're
bath then.
just above
I'll
ice.
adjust it. I'll adjust
Yeah,
it.
maybe tepid.
Okay, I'll say a little colder
We
than
have this all
tepid.
the time, don't we?
Do you guys do it? Do you?
Yeah, I've got a 0.5. He's got a 4
got
degrees.
2. Ah, there you
2
go.
degrees.
I think, you know, it's good enough.
I think,
And how
yeah.
long do you go in for the 0.5?
I just 2 minutes a day.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're charged.
Oh yeah, I'm up for anything.
It's
you like.
amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, let's
Super
go.
addictive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you go with the arms in?
Yeah, I put my arms on my thighs because my hands get really cold. But
Yeah.
apparently, if you put them on the well, not apparently, I've been doing it for 2 years. Put your hands on your thighs, then it's better.
What about head in? Do you go head in first?
Head under straight away.
There
if I
you
don't
go.
put my head under, I find it more difficult to stay in because my head has an argument with my body. Because my head
agree.
says, I'm not as cold as you are. My body goes, I'm not as warm as you are.
I don't
See,
do the
Michael's
head.
not a head in guy.
I'm
gotta
not
head
sure
in, bro.
I'm not sure you
I'm
do
not
it.
committing
do you
to this.
actually, have you been to the gym in the last year? Are you
Not
really doing
really.
any of
It's
this?
all a lie.
Or some kind of actor? We need to give people more of a sense of the mood of what's going on because I watched the first episode last night and I was weirded. I was so weirded out by it all. I mean, talk about a psychological thriller. It was like, what is going on here? I have no idea what's going on here. I don't know, but I'm happy to not know. Because I don't want to know. Because otherwise I'm not going to watch the other episodes. And then I watched the second episode. And by the end of it, I was so frazzled. You know, I could barely sleep. And I woke up this morning because there's so much going on. And it's not just about a central character like in 24 would be. Like because you think Fassbender's in it, it's all about Fassbender. But it's really not. And everybody that appears in it is fully formed as a character. And there's like 8-9 stories going on here. Can you sort of give more of a better sort of aperitif than I'm doing to people?
I think, you know, what again, you know, what the Butterworths have done with the writing as well is it's sort of, you know, it's appreciating the audience as an intelligent audience that'll have to sort of lean into it and do a bit of work with it. You know,
it's like a cryptic crossword.
It
as
is,
opposed to Wordle.
and you know, it's one of those things where you can sit back and relax because all those threads will come
That's the
together.
thing.
You know, it's always the way with these sort of dramas. You've got to just go, okay, I don't have to take in everything.
Yeah.
You know, just sit back.
love that.
Those storylines will come together, and they do weave through brilliantly, like stuff that's mentioned in the first episode. all the
Henry's
Felix stuff
brother-in-law over in Ukraine.
Right.
Who the heck's he working for?
Yeah,
What's going on
all
there?
of that's going to weave through.
Well, I think in some ways, the first couple of episodes is really like, that incredible scene in the beginning of The Godfather where Coppola just weaves in every character that you will explore through the course of the film, and that's what we're doing here. And it resolves kind of beautifully.
Well, just a few hours ago, by all.
Exactly, it resolved just about less than 24 hours ago.
I said to Jeffrey, Mike, before you arrived, I said I've never interviewed somebody about a series that they're still doing, or just finished like last night.
It's amazing to see what the machine can do when it's put into sort of hyperdrive. Like, we were filming, episode 9, 4, 6, 3. There was such a crossover because we just had to, we had to crunch it. We had a release date. They kindly waited for me to finish up on the Soderbergh film, so everything just got crunched. But they've done it before. David Glasser at 101, he's done that. He's done it before.
It's a great driving sequence in not a great car. It's in episode 1 or 2 when you're the tracker, and let's not say too much. Did you do that yourself? Because you've taken up competitive driving, haven't you?
I have not at the moment because I can't get insured. Can't do both, unfortunately, because the season runs. Let's say from April through to October. And so it's kind of...
Has he been banging on about cars to you, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I bore everyone
all the time.
with it.
Have you had the car chat?
It's great. Were you driving? Did you do that drive in the first episode?
I didn't do them.
No. Michael.
I would have loved to, but it's all time,
So am I the only one driving? I pull out of the
I remember.
the parking garage. Yeah, we hit one curb.
One curb, which is not bad.
Curb.
So last night you had a screening and you were acting yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like doing a play.
And they've got
opening
you
night.
and you're doing this morning.
Yeah.
You poor things.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, life's pretty good.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's all
gosh.
good.
Yeah.
So Bonneville makes an appearance. Do we know? Are we going to? Is that pivotal?
It's all pivotal.
So you know what? You said it like everybody that's there, and that's the other great thing I think about the show, because everyone's energy is different. You've got like all these different types of characters from different walks of life bringing different energy in, and yes, he's going to be pivotal.
Today's Gladington Day. Have you heard about Gladington?
No.
So you heard about Barbieheimer.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was the Barbie movie against Oppenheimer. That's Barbieheimer. This is
Right.
Gladington. It's Gladiator against Paddington. Yeah, that's in the UK. Stay with us, Jeffrey. Stay with
I'm
us.
with you.
Thank you. In America, Wicked is out today. So it's Glicked. So you got Glicked going on in the
Gladiator's
US.
still in there.
What a time to be
Yeah.
alive.
You got
Gladiator and
Gladington here. You got Glickington next week because we've got all 3. What have you heard about Gladiator 2? We've all seen it, by the way.
Oh, God.
Did you love it?
It is off the chain.
Yeah. Well, Bruno, the guy that I've been working with, sort of, he works in wardrobe, and he worked on Gladiator. He went to see it, and he was like, "It's great, it's fantastic."
I hear Denzel is
Denzel's
pretty
supposed to be
fantastic. I
amazing.
just
Yeah.
did a film prior to doing this with Denzel, and he loves working with. You worked with
Ridley.
with Ridley Scott. so
He's incredible.
That's a pretty potent combination right there.
Denzel was on the show on Wednesday.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Paul was on the show on Wednesday as well. It was. It's been a bit of a week.
But we haven't had time to see anything other than what we've been up to. We've
yeah.
been doing this since June.
Yeah.
And pretty nonstop.
Well, hats off to both of you for everything you've done. Congratulations on. It's 2-1 Oscar nomination wise. What have you got in the bag to bring it to 2-2?
Oh man,
coming up.
Who knows? That's so outside of the our control. It's just the work.
Have you discussed being nominated for Academy Awards?
No, but we should discuss it.
We'll have that conversation next. Yeah. Once we finish with the cars
Does it get
and the
any
racing.
easier not winning?
I find, like, for me,
It's the first time you folded your arms on, by the way.
Le Mans was sort of, for me, is something that I'd like to podium.
Right.
That
More than an Academy Award.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
But I can say this with any of this stuff: winning's better than losing.
Oh, for sure.
It's preferable.
Yeah,
winning's preferable.
Did you have a speech ready to go?
Oh God, there's something in my head.
But didn't you know who was going to win by the time it gets there? You kind of realize that. No? Okay.
you know.
Who beat you? Because you've been nominated twice, haven't you?
Well, I can't. Okay, so what was I nominated for?
Steve Jobs.
12 years. 12 years.
Yeah.
12 years. What was that? Jared Leto for 12 years, and then Steve Jobs was the Revenant, DiCaprio.
Okay.
And Alicia won that year.
Right,
My wife,
which is fair
my
enough.
wife won, which was amazing.
Because you know her really well.
I know her well. I thought she did a great job. And
Where is it, by the way?
it's in. It's. No, I'm not going to say. It's. I know what I would use it for, but
Where's the Academy Award,
I'm
young
not
man?
telling you.
Okay, fair enough. I don't care. By the way, we had you down for an EGOT. We thought you were one away from an EGOT,
No.
but you're not, are you?
No, 2 away.
Okay, 2 away. But you have got a Golden Globe,
Yeah.
which we could put in instead of a Grammy, which is still a G.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so you got
Fair
the Emmy,
enough.
the Tony, the.
What's the
Gold-
gotcha?
It's all about the trophies.
Did you hear that?
I did hear that.
Okay, there used to be a show on Saturday night on TV here called Noel's House Party.
Yeah.
And he used to trick, what did you say, prank? He used to prank celebrities.
Yeah.
And he would give them a gotcha because he got them. That's it. Sorry, underwhelming.
No, fair enough. I'll go for that. You know?
Can I just ask you one question about your
You got
voice?
cookies.
What's in the tin?
You got cookies, man.
They have from Ireland. They brought us the.
Really?
Yeah. Jeffrey, just tell us about you. When did your voice become like it is?
Oh, I think it was just like a few years of bourbon and cigarettes.
Oh, come
You know,
on. When is it?
I've given up the cigarettes, but and kind of the bourbon as well. But but the voice remains.
But
yeah.
when you're younger, is your voice different?
When I was 3 years old, my voice was pretty much as it is now.
That's amazing.
That's exactly what Barry White said to me once.
I don't know, man. It just, it just happened. And people said, oh, I don't know. I can't really hear it. I just use it. But, it serves me well.
Okay, and one more question, Michael, if you don't mind. When you are running in the film, which you do, is that really how you run in real life? Because that's a really good run, and I'm like, he can't. That's got to be his showbiz run. It can't be his real.
You know
run.
what? As a kid, I wasn't really good at sports. I mean, it was okay. As a kid, I wasn't really good at sports. I mean, it was okay, but I was always good at running. 100 meters, 200 meters.
Well, it's very impressive.
Take anybody on in the office here.
Michael Fassbender and Jeffrey Wright have literally been. They pulled an all-nighter, but for all the right reasons. So they've been acting yesterday. They were at a screening last night. They've been doing this nonsense PR today, but it's all worth it because the show is great. It really is great. The Agency, first 2 episodes premiere on Paramount Plus on Saturday, the 30th of November. Gentlemen, anything else you'd like to say?
Are we racing? Did you just offer to race anyone in the office?
I said I'd take anyone on a 100 meters.
Oh,
sprint.
my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, my friend. Had it not been for this torn
way.
ACL. Dude, you have no clue. You have no clue.
All right, can we
you
hear,
have no
please,
clue.
class behind the glass, a round of applause for Michael Fassbender and Jeffrey Wright, The Agency, with a bit of Hugh Cornwall, a lot of Richard Gere in there, just for good measure, a load of other great actors too. It's an awesome piece by people who really know what they're doing.
Oh.